This is Eagle Al, and today I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the game today. Yes, we lost the nail biter 19-20 to the Baltimore Ravens, but this Eagles team is deep. We're gonna talk about DeAndre Swift, Jalen Carter, Eli Ritz. These dudes are just complete monsters, but let's get straight into it. All right, before I get straight into it, man, I gotta say a prayers for my guy, Sean Bradley. Gotta say prayers for my guy, Sean Bradley. We know he was carted off the field with a leg injury. He was ruled out for the rest of the game. And Sean Bradley always bring the energy to practice, bring the energy to the team. You seen the whole team came out when he got hurt. He was in tears. And again, just prayers up for Sean Bradley, man. All right, but let's get into Jalen Carter. Look at this clip right here. Just a complete monster. Look how he just dominate their O-line, get to Josh Johnson, who was probably just sick of the Philadelphia Eagles. So yes, he was playing with the 49ers, and he got hurt as well as Brock Purdy that game. And he like, man, I'm sick of this D-line. Jalen Carter, man, he showed what he can do. Like he said, I can get after the quarterback. You like college, they like to run a lot, but the NFL, they like to throw. I can get to the quarterback. And before I give a shout out to the players, I actually got to give an air horn, right? I got to give an air horns to the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. To me, they called a great game. Brian Johnson made the offense look phenomenal. I even believe Sean Desai made the defense look phenomenal, but they just didn't make the hits. They was hitting a bit soft to me, in my opinion. But again, let's get back to Jalen Carter. A dog. A dog. And I forgot to actually put this up. Sorry. He's a dog. He's a just complete dog. DAWG. I can't wait to see him during the regular season. To me, he looked like the best defensive tackle that played today, in my opinion. Look like he can be the best defensive tackle as a rookie. Showed the moves, showed the speed, a little of everything. Nolan Smith, it took him a while to get his feet under him. He whiffed on a running play, like he was overly aggressive. Then this running back got to the outside, ran like a 37-yarder. Nolan Smith was a little overly aggressive. The game eventually settled to him. And then he also got a QB hit. So it was only 2 QB hits the whole game. And it was Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. And I kept saying, when I'm going to see my guy, Sidney Brown. Actually, before I get to Sidney Brown, let's talk about Josh Jobe. Josh Jobe looked pretty good. I think he got an OPI on some BS. I don't think it was an offensive pass interference because he put his hands in Zay Flowers' face, but in my opinion, he did a very good job on Zay Flowers because Zay Flowers is shifty, and you know what? I'm gonna just get physical with his little self, and he got physical. I think the refs made a bad call, and Josh Jobe so tall, he didn't even mean to really put his hands in his face like that, but Josh Jobe did a really good job. Speaking of cornerbacks that did a good job too, got to get to Eli Ritz, man. Multiple PBUs, a pick six, kept the Eagles in the game. And Ian Book just simply couldn't do it. But Eli Ritz looked really, really good. Keely Ringo, another guy, it seemed like it was taking a while for the game to come to him. But as the game went on, he made plays. I even seen some plays on like, man, is we sure we want him to be a cornerback? I see he got the speed, got the athleticism and this and that, but I don't know if he got the eye discipline like that. But he came through later in the game. Mekhi Gardner looked really, really well. He actually got a fumble on special teams. Stuff like that helps you make the team. Get a turnover, a simple turnover on special teams. So that was really, really good by him. Defensive backs is just loaded. Sidney Brown came in later in the second half, had the most tackles. He was flying all over the place. Sidney Brown almost got a pick. And he looked good. He definitely looked good. Kayvon Wallace got a forced fumble, looked very, very well. Kayvon Wallace and Sidney Brown look like the best safeties that played today. I know Terrell Edmonds, I believe he got a PBU. But in my opinion, watching the game today, looked like Sidney Brown and Kayvon Wallace were the best safeties. Of course, Reed Blankenship and those dudes did not play. First team did not play at all. And speaking of, let's get to the offensive side. Let's speaking of first team guys or potential first team guys. DeAndre Swift, man. DeAndre Swift showed that shiftiness. He showed like he's like really like a Miles Sanders on steroids. Like he hit dude with a move that came clean and could have just completely hit him and broke up the play. Hit him with a move, ran over a guy and got 22 yards. DeAndre Swift showed he is a dog. I can't lie. But what's interesting that Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell didn't play after they said they're gonna rest starters. So look like Boston Scott more than likely is gonna be the kit returner. And right now, Kenneth Gainwell will be the starter. That starting running back position between those two is deep. Rashad Penny looked well as well. He didn't really get a big run like a Swift, but he was moving the chains, getting 5 yards there, 9 yards there. Like he was moving. Heard he did tweak his ankle, nothing too serious. Thank God. But yeah, DeAndre Swift is a dog. You know who surprised me on the offense too? Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee was really, really good. I believe he was like 10 or 20. He didn't throw any interceptions, but he didn't throw any picks. He looked very, very well. He actually looked better than Marcus Mariota. And I can't forget about Greg Ward. Greg Ward, I say, should be behind Zacchaeus. He should be behind Zacchaeus. If I'm looking at the wide receiver room and we keep five and we always forget about him, we mentioned Joseph Nagadas of the world and the other people. But what I seen, Greg Ward showed like he's experienced. He can still play. Greg Ward really showed he can be that fifth wide receiver if we decide to keep five. Greg Ward is a dog. Greg Ward can still play this game at a high level. So shout out to Greg Ward for making a case. It's going to be hard to cut him. The other guy, Tyreek Cleveland, I believe his name, made a case today. Like he looked really, really good. But that Tanner McKee kid, again, a dog. I actually want to see him and Marcus Mariota split more snaps on the next game. So I want to see who's actually the better quarterback. Tanner McKee looked poised in the pocket when he had a clean pocket. The reason why he started getting completions here and there, that third team offensive line completely sucks. But when he was with that second team offensive line, he looked really good. But Tanner McKee really surprised me. He could sling it. Again, he was poised. He ran through his progressions. He looked really, really, really good. Really good. Yeah. Let's get into I gotta get into the negatives, man. Gotta get into the negatives, man. You see who the poster boy for it. Greedy Williams. Greedy Williams. When I say a man was getting cooked today, he was cooked. I mean, my God. I know it's going to be tough getting rid of some of these cornerbacks, but if there's one guy I believe that will be cut, it's Greedy Williams. He looked terrible. He looked terrible. You'll think he was the undrafted guy. He was horrible. No, not standing out in camp. Didn't look good in preseason. At least I could give Eli Ricks well, Eli Ricks didn't stand out in camp, but he looked really good in the game. Eli Ricks, I think I seen Elliot Short Parts say this, so shout out to Elliot Short Parts. And I was thinking it too. He got that cornerback one heart. Like he got that dog mentality. Again, back to Greedy Williams. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, man. Jake Elliott did miss a kick. Wasn't really too many negatives. And I don't want to really harp on Greedy Williams too hard. I seen the rookie mistakes. Again, I seen Keely Ringo look lost in the first quarter a bit. Um the penalties, we look a little bit undisciplined. We didn't look disciplined at all. That it looked like we couldn't stop the run. A lot of soft hitting. I think Sean Desai put the guys in the right place. He brought some blitzes here and there, but the hitting was terrible. But we don't hit in training camp, so you expect that to be a little rusty. Hitting was terrible. It was penalties here and there. Greedy Williams. That third team offensive line, terrible. Dennis Kelly looked bad. It's just some stuff we got to clean up for us in the depth chart. But this team definitely did show me that they were deep, because that second team balled out. I would give them that. If it was just the second team Eagles versus the second team Ravens the whole game, our second team would have won. I believe our second team would have won. Even if they started at Taylor Huntley, I think we would have won. But as they start getting deeper into the roster, that's when we start. It was dreadful to watch. And the reason why the third and fourth quarter was easier to watch a little bit is because Sidney Brown was making plays. I can't forget about my guy, Maro Ojamo. Maro Ojamo looked good. He looked good actually against passing plays and running plays as well. But as a overall defense, that third team, they got to hit better. Even the second team got to hit better. Nolan Smith, again, rookie mistakes, over pursuing. It's just little stuff like that we would definitely clean up. But if I had to pick, oh yeah, Ian Book, how can I forget? And I'm about to wrap up this video. Ian Book, Kennedy Brooks. Come on, man. Kennedy Brooks with the fumble. Ian Book forgot that he's a quarterback and not a running back. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Right now, QB3, honestly, is Marcus Mariota. QB2 is Tanner McKee. And QB1, we already know that's Jalen Hurts. But Ian Book got to go. Ian Book got to go. Greedy got to go. Brooks, Kennedy Brooks got to go. And that's why I took from this first game. Everybody else pretty much stepped up. I probably got to take a deeper look into it. But a lot of other guys stepped up. Did pretty well. And again, before I wrap up this video, we got to say a prayers up for my guy, Sean Bradley. Hopefully he get better, man. Hopefully he get better. And hopefully it ain't that serious. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about everything that happened? The positives, the negatives. Sorry if I'm all over the place. It's just to recap the game. Just ended. Just going off the top of my head. And maybe I'll come out with a video tomorrow going into depth about more players or a player I seen or players, a group I seen. And I might go into more depth about that tomorrow. We will see. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm up.